No, eso fue antes de que se fuera.
¿Sabes por qué? Por picarse con Maffer.
¿Maffer? ¿What?
Por picarse con Maffer.
O sea, digamos que le dio el jueves, yo no estuve.
I'm streaming.
Yo estaba con él.
I'm streaming.
No. Eso fue antes de que se fuera.
Eso fue antes de que se fue.
¿Estás con tu live stream, Ryan?
Sí.
No.
¿Cuántos views tiene?
Eso fue antes de que se fuera.
Ahí está todo. ¿Por qué? Con Maffer, ¿no? ¿Aló? Sí, ¿aló?
O sea, digamos que
McDonald's.
el jueves, yo no estuve.
I'm streaming.
Yo estaba con él.
No, para. I'm still streaming.
We don't need our computers today. We can go ahead and put them
Oh,
away.
we don't!
We do not need our computers, so you can go ahead and put your
I'll just leave
computer
it like that.
fully closed in your backpack.
I can't.
Why?
It's a program is running on my computer.
Okay, but you are in class now.
I know, I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna
Put
leave
it
it
over
like that.
there on that counter. If I hear any noises, I will close it. Alright, dear. So it is time for us to get started. That was our call. So let's go ahead and begin just by taking a quick look at our class dojo situation. So this is our current class dojo stuff. Please remember. Please remember.
I got 75.
Class dojo and find the sticker, 30 points, positive note home, 35 is tardy class, 40 points, yes, I 35, you may switch a seat with somebody else, and 50 points for the okay. At the end of class, you can redeem. Okay? Please remember that if you switch a seat, that means you take that person's spot. So if I say I want to switch seats with Naomi, I would take her seat. Wherever I'm sitting now, she will move to sit there. Now let me be very clear. If you choose to switch a seat with somebody, and for the 2 weeks that you're in that new seat, you are being absolutely nonsensical, for the rest of the year, you will never sit next to those people again. I'll give you those 2 weeks. You can have those 2 weeks to like make bad choices. Great, awesome, cool, that's your choices. But after that point, when I do my next seating chart, whenever you want to switch seats in the future, you will not be allowed to sit next to those people. So keep that in mind. If you do switch a seat, that does not give you carte blanche to be like crazy. Question, yes.
If you're not crazy, you can still sit and
If you're not crazy, like if you show me that you're doing an excellent job sitting with those people, then the next time when I update the seating chart, I might say, oh, you know what, Rodrigo, he works really well with Nico and Sebastian. Maybe I should have him sit up there permanently. Maybe that's something I want to do. Or like, oh, you know what, I was a little bit worried that Naomi would just look at what Sarah was writing and just copy that stuff down all the time, but instead they really collaborated well, and Sarah didn't share her answers with Naomi, and Naomi did her own work independently. Okay, maybe they should sit together more in the future. Yes.
When is like the next time to change the seat?
2 weeks.
No? It's not in 2 weeks, so.
3 years.
So, in that, we'll see. Righty baby. Let's go ahead and begin.
Bring another experience.
So, we are going to start off with a do now. Now, you may notice that on your table, there is some materials. Please do not touch them. Please do not sniff them. Please do not lick them. Please do not make your choices. You're going to leave those, and then when it gets to our experiment time, you will be allowed to touch them. For now, please come over to the side table. Now it's time
Don't look at
Reggie, you have 5 minutes to do the following. On your piece of paper, I'd like you to draw an animal, preferably a favorite animal of yours. be shorts, it could be a cape.
Yo.
Then have it doing an activity that you love. Maybe it's reading, maybe it's playing football, maybe it is painting. And then add details to make it your favorite time of day.
Shut up, bro. At least I don't have echo.
Hacer un mono jugando fútbol.
Mentira.
There's a shark there back there.
Habibi.
Is your animal not needs to be perfect?
Yes, it does.
Do your best version. I've seen lots of very creative animals.
Oh, does it have to be real or non-existent?
It should be a real animal. It's a bigger feeding failure, so it'll be a fake animal.
Alright.
I'm gonna do a dolphin.
You have about 3.5 minutes remaining.
That's a pig.
Why are you drawing a pig?
That's my favorite animal. No.
Why?
For what?
Why is it your favorite animal?
Because I like to eat it.
If you haven't drawn anything yet, just draw a random animal.
You don't like to eat pork?
It doesn't have to be your favorite.
Of course I eat.
Cat pigs
It can
eat
just be
pork.
an animal that you kind of like. That'd be fine too.
What would be the most cool thing to do with pig?
I mean, sometimes you do that. Like, pork feeders, farmers, they give
Pork feeders.
He's wearing an athletic jersey.
Mira, amiga.
Mine is gonna wear a
No,
favorite article of clothing.
I just realized something that I like to do.
Bro, no, todavía no estás
Maybe you know it's overrated. The only thing I read on the bus is I don't have a phone. If I had a phone, I would. Putting on a soccer jersey. How you get 6 girls in a month?
Pork.
Gali. Cállate tú. Boca.
Alright,
Yo
time.
sí,
About
mucho
2
español.
minutes.
Yo está
Finishing up. Remember that your animal should be doing something that you love doing. And it should be a particular time of day.
Wait,
That
what's
could
harder
be
than
noon, that could be
salad? What's the
morning,
last one?
sunrise. It could be sunset, it could be
Second thought, I'm
nighttime.
drawing an elephant. An elephant.
Elephants are big. Oh. Why are you so upset? I love who's in your car?
¿Me perdonas?
Wait, who's in
Okay,
your
you
car?
have about 60 seconds remaining.
Who's in your garbage car?
Me. You're lost.
You laugh at him.
Ryan dice cosas estúpidas y yo me río.
It's so dumb, but you laugh at him when he's listening to him. Not telling him you're like, you're not.
And you're not fun.
I have really I really like
You have about 20 seconds remaining.
Y así dice que me junto. Dijo Dios, bro, if you actually laugh at this, you're going to. Que dijo Dios, o sea, que iba el primer nivel.
Dios, de esto.
Uy, se me quemó.
No te rías. Eso
Wait,
dijo
say it slowly.
Diosito cuando hizo a...
Wait, say it slowly.
What?
Wait, say it slowly, say it slowly.
¿Qué?
Dios, he created the first black person.
¡Ay, no, no, no,
Oh,
no!
damn, that's wrong.
Okay, that is your timer going on.
Porque es really
So, what I would like for you to do is, in a moment, you are going to be sharing your picture with someone in the classroom based on this. So, first, I would like you to find somebody who drew the same animal as you. Now, maybe they didn't draw exactly the same. So, for example, I drew a goose. If somebody drew a penguin or an owl or some kind of bird, I'd maybe be looking for somebody that also drew a bird. So,
Pero hizo un delfín, que era mi favorito de
Please
él.
wander and find somebody that drew the same animal as
El perro motocicleta.
Sebas, ¿quieres ser ¿qué te pasa, Pedro?
Alrighty, back to your seats, please. And 5, 4, 3,
¡No, me la rompiste!
Team, are we switching our stuff here? Ryan, can we not make such giant exclamation? Alright, babies. If you would like to keep your animal because you love it, that's totally fine by me. If you don't want to keep it, you can throw it away. If it's cute, please don't. If you don't want it, but it's cute, give it to me.
Necesita ir al gym.
Got you guys.
Wait, I don't get it. I don't
In
get it.
5,
Wait, can I
3,
No.
1,
Está working out.
0. Good. Okay, babes, you are, if you still have your animal, that's totally fine, but please do not be drawing on your animal anymore during class. Alright, today we're going to be looking at electrical.
Hey, 3 electrical inflator.
Today we're going to be looking at electrical insulators and conductors. Please say what I say, please do what I do. You want to lead it?
Uy, dale, Joaquín, dale. Dale, Joaquín, go. Joaquín.
Explore electrical insulators and conductors and develop a purpose question and a hypothesis and experiment. Good
Alright then, so that is what we're going to do today. Our first thing that I would like you to do is I want you to take just a minute to think and discuss with your group. You are not going to write anything yet, just discuss with your group. When you made circuits on gizmos, which materials, and here are some materials for reference, which materials allowed the lights to turn on? Which materials did not allow the lights to turn on? And why do you think some materials allow the lights to turn on, but others to not? So just discussing with your group. Please go ahead and come up and go through.
Some materials that allow the lights to turn on were like the metal materials, like iron, like silver. Yeah, I know, she said you gotta explain it though, okay? Listen to the teacher. Fine, and the things that didn't allow people to insulate.
Oh, insulator.
Insulators are the ones that like don't really allow to travel past. I swear I will hit that.
No, say, no.
Oh no, I'll say no. I don't swear. No, I'm not going to Jesus Christ. Okay, so like the insulator, like the yarn, the wood, the plastic, right? It's like they don't allow like the electricity to travel as fast as it would to like light up a light bulb. But not you, Ryan. What do you think? Ryan's crush is valid.
Leave it on.
I don't blame her. I did the best.
Okay, so let's have a quick chat. There are 5 materials up here that would allow the lights to turn on. Tell me one of them, Julia.
The mechanical pencil.
Mechanical pencil. Tell me another one, Rodrigo.
Iron.
Iron. Tell me another one, Tunica.
Silver.
Silver. Another one, Sigro.
The brass?
Brass. And one last one, Brian.
Copper!
What do all those things have in common? What makes them similar?
They're all metal.
They're all types of metals. Okay. Which materials did not allow the lights to turn on? Emily, tell me one. Yarn. What was another one? Naomi. Wood. What was another one? Emmy. Plastic. What was another one? Mitt, Ruby. Glass. So those ones would not allow the lights to turn on. So today we're going to be talking about why this is. And I did hear some people using these words, but please go ahead and take a second, open up your notebook, and put the title: Electrical Insulators and Conductors.
Yo, no es still streaming. No,
I swear she's screaming. You guys can get sued for that.
I'm streaming social studies. I'm streaming right now.
No,
I don't care.
I think they both have to be agreed to be recorded.
Maybe like some of the 100 people are video recorded. No one's gonna see me.
Alrighty, please make sure you have that title.
I already did. I don't have the title.
Okay, and the first thing that I would like for you to do is
Ryan. That is you, Ryan.
That was someone. I promise that was someone.
I started
Don't
it.
make promises that you can't keep. I saw you doing this.
I know. I promise that was
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
My pencil slip.
Alright, once you have that title,
I know.
the title is
Oh, I need to put it
Electrical
out.
Insulators
You need to put that.
Conductors.
Miss.
This slide says copy and respond. There is a notebook. We should put this in our notebook on the same page that you put that title. The title was Electrical Insulators and Conductors.
So,
What I want you to think about first is, what do you remember about insulators and conductors from past lessons? And And if you're not sure, if you're having a hard time remembering, try looking back at your notes from Unit 1.
I was in here very
So just think about what you might know.
So insulators are things that keep.
Don't say it out loud. We're not discussing. We're copying Andrew's score.
What is the title?
Electrical insulation.
Let me say it right. Everything is hard to say.
Regañado.
My thing is very bad for it.
Un poco mi culpa, en realidad.
Let's go, Ryan.
Es como la que decía, no hay Twitch.
Stop, Ryan. Stop.
Samuel, tú es tu
Stop,
culpa.
Ryan.
Ya aquí.
No, man,
Rompiste el trato.
Yo le dije que diga eso, pero pues, me han dicho que
Ah,
no puede.
qué putas.
Uy, dice ropa no vi.
The teacher was in the room.
So at a minimum, you should be writing this question.
Do we write down our response?
Yes, please do write down a response. If you don't remember something and you don't find any notes on it, then you can leave it blank for now, but you are going to end up writing an answer no matter who you are.
Last unit, it was unit 1, like literally the first unit.
Try looking back at your notes from Unit 1 is what it says.
So what was unit 1?
We learned about density.
I'm so dense.
Bro. What was the unit of insulators and
Unit 1. Oh, let me have.
Unit 2 is on the toxic.
Unit 1 was matter, right?
Yes.
It's not well, you know.
Maybe.
Be such a good.
So some things you can think about. A hint is that insulators and conductors have to do with heat. Something about heat. You can also think about some animals. Something about like how their bodies are, their fur, or their feathers. If that gives you any kind of clue. We did an experiment where we put a balloon over a flame.
I remember that.
And then we did a different one where we put some water in it. The balloon. We put that over a flame. That was all related to insulators
I
and
also remember
conductors.
that. Oh, I don't remember what was insulated.
Fans that prevent the flow.
Low heat from getting.
It looks like.
Right, so more.
It looks like.
You want to see what
End of the grade.
But you said you're the smartest kid in the grade.
I'm like top 5 for students.
I love that I see some people looking back through their notes to try to help themselves. That's definitely a good strategy to use.
I'm gonna go back to my
I
notes.
think no look like
So look at this missing. When did I do this?
Oldest and
Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and discuss an answer to this. Especially if you didn't write down anything. If you weren't sure, as you listen to what other people are saying, please write something down or add a little bit more onto your response. Joaquin, what can you tell me?
Okay, so like insulators are things that keep in the heat. They don't let the heat escape. Like this water bottle is an insulator because it like stays cold like throughout the day.
Good, good,
And
good.
conductors are things that like let the heat escape. So we're talking about electricity. If having a conductor is good, it lets the electricity like go fastly to get to the light.
Okay, yeah, so
Quickly.
that can be related to electricity.
Yeah, be allowed.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's still allowed.
Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, yes, that's right. Thank you. Alrighty, so yeah, so conductors can allow heat to transfer easily. You can also, we're gonna get more into that today, allow electricity to pass through easily. Do many animals have feathers or fur that are insulators or conductors? We remember that, right?
Okay, so, the insulator and conductor, as Raheem said, remind me on how certain animals have different coats and furs, which prevents heat and cold from entering the animal's body.
Yeah, so is that gonna be more like an insulator or more like a conductor?
Well, insulator.
Insulator. Insulator is something where if it's cold, it keeps things cold. If it's hot, it keeps things hot. So with an animal, right, you have heat from your body. It traps that body heat in. So that's why that would be an insulator. If you have written no answer to this, we just talked about 3 things there that you could write down. I want you to write something down to kind of access some of that prior knowledge. Now today we're going to be connecting this, like Joachim said, to electricity. So this does need to get put down in your notebook as notes. An electrical insulator is a material in which electric current does not flow freely. So an example would be like plastic. At a minimum, please write plastic as an example, but you can also write down rubber, glass, oil, diamond, dry wood. All of those are examples of electrical insulators.
Can I open my water?
Have you written down these notes?
No.
Once you write down those notes, you're welcome.
I have one. Wait, no, let me start. Ronaldo.
You can. You don't have to, but you can.
CR7.
So if an insulator makes it so that electricity cannot pass through easily, then a conductor is going to be the opposite, right? A conductor, an electrical conductor, is one in which electric current does flow freely. So an example would just be metal. Some other examples would be silver, gold, copper,
Any metal.
steel, any metal.
Is Neymar wasted potential? Neymar what? Wasted potential. He's really, really good. Everybody said that he's gonna be the best player in the world. I said it 5 years ago. He broke my Why are there salt Yes, Anthony Martial wasted potential. We said that the guy that said like he got the Is Rob Felix wasted potential? Is Rob Felix? No, he's still like
I'm going to change the slide in about 15 seconds.
Let it go now, let it go now. Let it go. I could try
Alright, so here I have an example of a circuit. In this circuit, I have a 9-volt battery.
Let's do it. The example is iron, right?
Yes, what an example. In this example, I have a battery that is connected by wire to an electrical device, and part of the circuit is made up of glass. I would like for you to discuss with your group, would this be a closed circuit or an open circuit? And why?
Yeah, it's an open circuit.
So talk about it with your group.
It's in the negative and the positive.
We're a closed circuit, but it doesn't allow like current to flow freely. But technically speaking, it is a closed circuit. Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so what are we thinking? Is it going
No, because it's in the look at the target.
No, because it's connected both negative and positive, but the whole problem with it is that it doesn't allow the electricity to flow freely. Wait, what's the definition of a closed or open circuit?
Oh, because the glass doesn't let the.
Alrighty, so on the count of 3, please just tell me open or closed. Everybody at once. 1, 2, 3.
Open.
Open. Remember, open means the circuit will not work. This does make a complete loop. It is connected to positive and negative, but because it has an insulator along the circuit, it would not work, so it must be open. So that is an important point, and it does have a book, so you do need to write it. Circuits with wires made of conductors will work. That will be a closed circuit. Circuits with wires made of insulators
I can
will
see.
not work.
Thank you.
When you're playing U14, you could all. Yes. I've never been to something like that.
The idea is that it's one more thing. I was going to play with. That is the one like.
I've been to that.
It's the one small or big.
It's 20 million people, but it's smaller. But that I wouldn't live in the
Electrical conductors and
My problem is so
Really? Wait, did you like this?
yeah. It's better than here. Like here, there's like things to do, but it's very
I don't know if it's possible.
and also it's not as developed like Taiwan. It's like I could walk down the street here, take a bunch of highways, right? It's
Okay.
like a real street.
Now, the last thing that I want you to do is I do want you to discuss with your group. The wires that we use when we're building circuits are a little bit funky.
I know
The ends of them typically are metal, but then the rest of it tends to be covered by plastic.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? So I want you to have a discussion. You don't need to wait. When you're discussing it, you must use these 3 vocabularies.
Yeah, I know.
Conductor, insulator, and current.
The metal
It's
allows
not-
the current ability to flow, and then the plastic.
It's protecting it.
Conductor, and the plastic is
Protecting it from like
covering the electronics.
But the girls feel the way.
The plastic.
Because plastic is electric. Whereas plastic is metal. Conductor. And why would I need it to
You're not
conductor?
bad at
So the closest
We have a question.
current.
I can't tell anymore.
Alrighty, so why are these wires covered in
Give it to me.
plastic? Tell me about it. Miss Naomi.
Covered in plastic, so because plastic is an insulator,
Ooh, boom, boom, boom. Awesome.
the electrical current can't transmit to you, but it still needs metal on the end because it's a conductor, so the current can still pass like on the inside of the plastic, but not to you.
Excellent, right? Our circuit won't work at all if there's no metal. But if metal is everywhere, if you grab onto it, right, that's how you, and then you die a horrible sad
I
death.
knew it.
So, it does provide you with some
You don't die.
protezione.
You don't
Today,
die.
we are going to be doing some more experimentation with electricity.
How
Love
many
it.
gets water with
So,
electricity?
please put the title, salt
What do you
and
mean?
water, electricity
The
experiment.
electricity's gonna go around all the particles of the water and it's gonna be all electric water.
Do not touch any of your materials until I give you the go ahead. We're going to do a couple things
No, wait,
first.
this is a go.
Yeah, they go to a better place to go.
Ooh. Ooh.
Alrighty. So today we are going to be exploring some stuff related to Tuesdays.
That one you didn't have to.
So this is how our experiment's going to go. Again, don't do anything yet. You're going to have 3 beakers. In one beaker, you're going to put just pure water in it. Just water from the sink. In one beaker, you're going to take a small spoonful of salt and put it in there, small, not heaping, small. And then fill it with water and stir so that it's nice and mixed. Not doing anything yet, not touching anything yet. In one beaker, you're going to put 3 spoonfuls of salt, not huge spoonfuls, little spoonfuls. Then you're going to stir, all right? So we have 3 separate beakers. We are going to be creating a circuit in which current passes through the water. Basically, we're seeing if water can act as part of that circuit at all.
I don't think that's it.
We're going to record observations about the light bulb, and then repeat that previous step with the salt water and the super salty water. That's a little bit hard to like envision.
Add some pepper, see what those might
So here I am explaining this experiment. Please watch close because you'll be able to see a lot better than me just trying to show you right now.
I'm still screaming.
Watch close. Okie dokie. So when we are doing this today, this is what it's going to look like. So you are going to have a battery. This time it is a 9-volt battery. All right. You are also going to have, listening and watching, 3 alligator clips. 1, 2, 3. All right. So what you are going to do is you are going to clip into both sides of the battery with 2 separate alligator clips. Alright. Then you are going to clip into a light there. Okay. So if your light goes on its side, sorry, if your battery goes on its side. Alright, so I have my battery here. It's clipped into both alligator clips. Then one of my alligator clips is clipped onto my light. Alright. Then I'm going to take my 3rd alligator clip. I'm going to clip it onto the other side of the light. Okay. So, just to show you, from above, this is what it looks like right now. So battery, alligator clip, clipped in. This one's just coming over here. This alligator clip is connecting to the light, which is connecting to another alligator clip. Now I don't have a circle yet, right? Remember that we need a circle in order for any circle
Put
to
it
work.
in the water.
So if I were to, for example, connect these 2 together. Hey, did you see what just happened there?
Yes.
Sparking!
Okay, you saw that light bulb went poof, right?
Yep.
I just blew out the light bulb. That was Miss Danielle doing something very stupid, which I knew not to do, and I accidentally did it anyway. Don't do that. I can show you again. But basically, as soon as you complete this circuit, if you directly connect it in order for any circuit to work. So if I were to, for example, connect these 2 together, okay, as soon as I connected it, this is a 9-volt battery. Usually, we use this battery here, right? We've done this before in other experiments. This is a 1.5-volt battery. So this battery here has 9 times the voltage, approximately, than this one. That does not mean this is going to electrocute you, but it does mean it's a lot of voltage for a tiny light bulb. So if you make a circuit, a complete circuit that directly connects to this, you will burn out your bulb and I will not give you another. Are we clear on that?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you do the same dumb mistake that I did, then you will have to just watch somebody else's deal. So keep watching, and remember, do not complete the circuit just like normal like we've done in the past. You do not want to do it that way. Let's keep watching and see what happens.
Why did it blow up?
I'm going to turn that light on. But that's not what I'm going to do. And in fact, it's really, really important that you don't touch those two together. Don't do it.
Does it?
So instead what you're going to do is you're going to place both of those pieces of metal, so this one and this one, into your little beakers of water. Okay? And we're going to observe what happens to the light. Maybe the light turns on, maybe it doesn't turn on at all, maybe it's bright, maybe it's dim. Who knows? Who sees? So we're going to make observations with the first one. Then we're going to repeat with a beaker that has 1 tablespoon of salt. Then we're going to repeat with a beaker that has 3 tablespoons of salt. All right. So you are going to see and make observations. How does the light work when we've made a circle, right, with our alligator clips, with our light, but going through, right, so that metal is going to be touching the water on this side. Okay, so to show you kind of a picture, nope, and what that looks like, it's going to look like this. Okay.
With
With a light bulb actually in here. I didn't want to put a light bulb in here because I don't want to show you what's actually going to happen.
Explode.
Now you'll notice here that I have the alligator clip just dipped in. You can just dip them in. You don't need to completely submerge them. The plastic shouldn't go in the water. You're just going to put the ends in. 2 other tips, and again, if you mess this up, I'm sorry, I will not give you another light bulb.
Okay.
We'll just be watching another group. If these touch when they're in the water, the same thing will happen. Your light bulb will explode, and not in like a cool way, not like whoa, my light bulb exploded. In a really boring way, right? Just goes boop, and then it's out. It's too much voltage for
What if we
the
connect
tiny
like
light bulb
8
to hit.
batteries?
What?
If you connect 8 batteries, will it make like an extreme explosion?
No, the light bulb will just go. Again, it would be very, very boring. So I highly recommend not making it explode because it will be the most boring thing that has ever happened to you. So don't have these 2 things touch. The other thing too, look at your table. What is your table made of?
Metal.
Is metal an insulator or a conductor? Yeah, that's a problem. We're trying to switch out the science labs anyway, but for now it is what it is. So what does that mean? That means if I connect, let's say I have stuff connected to my battery, all right, and connected to my light, all right, and if, let's say I had the other one too, if at any point I have something connected and metal touches, it would have to have one more. Let's say metal touches this table, the electricity will go through the metal. It will not zap you. You will not get hurt, but your light bulb will die. So it's really important when you're doing this that anytime you have an alligator clip loose and you need to put it somewhere, put it into that tray that is plastic because the plastic is what? An insulator. An insulator. Okay? Now, we are doing good science here. We are not doing random science. So before we start anything, we need to write a purpose question. So, in your notebook, you may talk with your group to figure out what your purpose question should be.
How does changing the amount of
Changing.
affect the light affect the flow of the current?
How does changing? Yeah, so how can we
What's your
rephrase the lighting of the light bulb?
What?
Would you mind actually speak up?
How does changing?
Brightness. The right track we're doing, it's going to make it really bright.
The power, the voltage.
So we want how does changing blank affect, whenever you're talking about what it affects, it should be something that's observable. So don't say something like affects the voltage. We can't see the voltage, so that's not a good question.
Affect the current.
Can we see the current?
Not the flow of the
Can we see the flow of electricity?
light bulb lighting up.
Okay, what about the light bulb lighting up?
How does it affect?
How does
By the speed.
the amount of
Let's speed.
affect the brightness?
The brightness.
You're not
The thing is,
changing
like, when I
voltage.
wrap
We're
it, like,
saying
I'm like
voltage
so
all the
much more
time.
grown up than I am. I'm gonna word it. Just I'm gonna word
Alright, done. I'm gonna do the basketball team because I'm so good. Sunroll, so good.
So that's
Alright, once you have a purpose question, your next step is going to be a hypothesis. I predict that if blank, then blank because blank. Remember to be specific, so don't say something like this. I predict salt will make a difference. Yes, 100%. Everything about them.
The amount of salt, then the bulb will get brighter.
yeah, facts.
We put more salt.
If we put more salt in the bulb, we'll get brighter. The thing is, like,
Some
getting
batteries have like acid.
yeah, getting good grades and being smarter. Like Ryan's very
Try to use the vocabulary
like somehow Ryan is smart.
that we've been using today.
He's just very dumb.
How can we use those words? How can we use insulator? How can we use conductor? How can we use current?
I predict that the more you add salt,
Oh wait, I'm
More
sorry.
salt, brightness. The bulb will get brighter. Because the bulb will get brighter because
That makes sense.
the light will
How do you say?
by being wrong.
We didn't have sleep in the top.
Alright, it's just a heads up. We will not be allowed to start until I see that everybody in your group
Why will it get
has a
brighter?
purpose question and a hypothesis that includes a because.
Why will it get brighter?
Because salt is a better conductor than water.
So the amount of salt will affect the brightness and will it, so if you have more salt, will it make it brighter?
No, but if it is 90% water, the concentrations are different. No, if you add 3 teaspoons of
It
salt
sounds like what
and
you're
1
saying.
teaspoon of water, it'll be much more salt than water.
Okay, will you just clarify that?
Because salt is a better conductor.
Just as a reminder, we've seen these words before. Dimmer means less bright, right? Brighter means that the light is more intense. So whenever you are making your prediction, you might want to use those words, dimmer or brighter. As we add more salt, do you think it's going to be brighter or dimmer?
I predict
As we have pure water, would that be brighter or dimmer? Why?
more salt.
It's such a
The light
Follow the future.
So you for it.
Goodbye, Ad, okay? I think that the light will be dimmer because
Once you have a hypothesis,
Oh, because it's a
and
better
have that,
conductor than water.
please copy down this data table. Please copy down this data table once you have a hypothesis.
What's the It's not.
Okay, so you're gonna say salt.
Ryan could put 4. So this has to make them laugh. You can make it like that.
because salt is, and I'm not sure. Salt is, should we just, it
different amounts of salt. Just to see if it gets thinner or lighter with salt.
Guys, have you seen this famous like if you can eat or laugh, you can do.
I can tell you this, salt is made up of soda and chlorine.
1 terabyte of salt.
There's nothing.
Who's your favorite like thing?
The baby.
You know, I really like Paduco because that's the first thing I did. This dumbass taxi driver blasting No, I'm not lying. First,
Yeah, sure. Brighter
I didn't know what it meant at first. It's like Googled it.
and the current will
That was the most annoying thing I've heard. I was at college when it was first released on the first plane.
It's gonna be more stressful.
They're saying Red Bus is a good song.
What?
Red Bus is a good song. Exactly.
Scary stuff. It's not a good song, but it's just like
It's an annoying.
that's why. Repetitive.
Who's a really dumb reggaeton?
Still streaming.
Who's a really dumb reggaeton? Like
My
Rawa.
pencil is broken.
Okay, what do we
Does
got?
anyone have pencil left?
Getting
Yes, it is the
I
hypothesis.
mean, he's not dumb. I just use it repetitive.
Bro, what is she gonna do?
I mean, he's like a good artist. I think he has like a few good.
People give me their full attention. Okay, so I am going to be continuing to come around, just making sure that people have everything that they need, including their data table there. I'm going to go ahead and put this picture back up here for reference. Just as a quick reminder, tell me, what are some things you definitely want to avoid doing in this experiment? Okay.
So you should put the alligator clips together.
Don't put the alligator clips together. It will explode your bulb and it will not work. I will tell you this, I have already checked every light bulb. I checked that earlier in this class, they were all working. So if something doesn't happen with yours, you have made some mistakes somewhere along the line, okay? What else should we not do? Emmy? Not touching the table, super critical. If you put them in the plastic, make sure that you don't let go and they jump together. Sometimes because wires are bendy, right? If you let go, they might twist. You want to make sure that they stay to the side. What about when you put them in the water? When they touch in the water?
They're gonna explode.
They never can touch.
And it's going to be boring because
Okay?
it's going to be
I have already given you salt in your fingers. You may use
Se va a rayar.
the bottom part of your spoon to mix it with some
I'm
water.
doing it.
Go ahead and start your experiment. Your
How much water do you need to put?
Fill it up to 140 liters.
Wait, fill it up to how many milliliters?
140.
There is no 100. How is this 140?
140. Make sure you stir your salt before you do anything.
Bro, you said mix your salt before you do anything.
I'm not gonna respond to that comment.
So to what? You're a
Wait, where's that 140 milliliters?
Yo, don't take it.
It shows you how to set it up. You can be careful and done.
Remember now, make sure you
I was only measuring up to 8.
I'm like, you're a scam. Yo, Marcelo.
Bro, that water is so drippy.
Lo haría.
I feel like you like this one. TikTok sounds
This
some
expires 2020.
TikTok sounds some more TikTok sounds.
baboy na.
TikTok sounds are more annoying than reggaeton.
140
You're
million.
more annoying than someone.
Samoa's Samoa's just worse.
I just realized.
No, it's like just.
He knows too much. Bro. My first friend on
No one is good.
I'm good.
No, you're not.
What have I done that's good?
Be weird.
I've never said anything weird.
Okay,
Please be careful. You should have 80 milliliters of water weight or 140 milliliters.
Ya, y si lo hacemos ahí mejor.
Be careful, bro.
Joaquin, Victor.
No way, Joaquin says.
Good idea,
I
Brian.
bought
Let's
it.
go do it here.
That'd be fine.
He was just like, I bought it. Miss.
Yes. Simon, would you like to not participate? Okay, then please don't even play around and messing with stuff.
Miss, I think I included it.
If you did, you're gonna have to watch other people.
Explotó.
Vengan a ver el metro.
No, no. I mean,
Alright, hold it up. Hold up.
I lived in like 6 countries.
Let's see.
I lived in 6 countries. Do you like it? No, man.
Hey! I got an extra one. Yo, no!
Abuse.
I'm still streaming. Nico, I'm still streaming.
Why?
Okay, Rodrigo.
Yo, this is the motherfucker.
Wait a sec. Pero no, okay.
Vengo ya. I'm gonna watch you guys because bueno, tiene que haber un grupo.
It's plastic shit.
Okay, we're not letting them touch, right? Okay, so that's your blue water. What did we see?
Well, you forget
No, I
Try switching over to this one. This one has a
Bro, that's actually
thin
two.
water.
Por eso tiene. That's why you
Yo, tell your trash and make it in.
right here. It goes to the
One more time, pure water.
Hey, can you hurry it up? Why are you here?
And
Say it's here.
We burned
take
it.
things apart.
Well, I burned it.
Vamos.
Miss.
Oh, we made
It lights up. It lights up.
Yeah! Oh my god, it's bright.
Miss Daniel.
Oh
Mi Daniel.
Por eso también.
Daniel,
Daniel.
Saca la cuchara. No, pero ¿por qué no ignora, man?
Sí, I'm smart. Yo no veo nada. Yo no veo nada.
Dude, is this
Bro, what you doing, bro? Mira ahí. Alright, bro, let's
Don't put it in the table, man.
Where did we go? Voy a cambiar.
boring. You get 6 girls in one.
That's the
Y
option.
Joaquín me olvida.
No, that handwriting is better than mine. Look at that.
Joaquín. Do it again so you can show me.
What is that? What is that?
Bro, ya vamos a meter esta vaina.
Yuki baby. If you have completed the experiment, make sure you wrote your results in the table. Then please respond to this for your conclusion.
Samuel, how you get 6 billion?
No!
Did Samuel actually get 6 billion?
No tengo que hacer 5 abs acá.
Se lo tiro, mira. El que le caiga.
Mañana. Te lo juro.
Samuel, how you get 6 billion?
Bueno, pero no lo tienes que hacer.
And this plane.
Quiero gastarla.
You should be sitting at your table and make sure that your data table is filled in. And
Bro, my pencil, bro!
conclusion that you're writing down.
You only did 1.
We only did one, but
Era brighter.
Someone to do all of the 3, didn't you?
Water.
Because they didn't let me finish, like, it's in your process, like, water,
Brian, how
water with 3.
so
Brian, can you put the other one in, please?
this one here. Okay, so this
Eso
here,
me explotaron su
It
bombillo.
lights up.
this here is pure water. So you pure water. Pure water.
Does not light up at all.
And 3 teaspoons.
It lights up a lot.
Lights up a lot.
Yeah.
La tuya va a pasar con
How you get smacked?
Perdón,
Wait,
sinceramente
you know theater is actually like a really powerful class. Theaters are really
No, te lo digo, tío.
Okay, wonderful, dear. How do you feel about your conclusion? And how do you bring your conclusion?
Yeah.
Does your conclusion include all of those vocabulary?
Current, conductor, closed circuit, yeah. No, it doesn't. What are we?
Please make sure that if your conclusion
Explotaste su bombillo.
So many experience.
Ryan,
what did we talk about earlier?
Ryan.
try to down in class, the teacher's like,
The metal is an insulator.
Tu life.
the metal is an insulator. Maria.
Okay, then here's
Give me
3, and 2, and 1, and 0. You should be working on your conclusion.
La yo.
Your
Mira la yo.
Yo, can I get a
Mr. Ryan, your teacher is talking right now.
Shut up.
You can show respect by listening silently. So, your conclusion must include all of these words. If you can do multiple ones in a single sentence, great. Otherwise, you might want to do one sentence for each. Like, when was current flowing? Under what conditions? What worked as a conductor? What allowed that electricity to move through? When did you have a closed circuit? When did you have an open circuit? What worked as an insulator? So in your conclusion about how does the amount of salt affect the brightness of a light bulb, or how does the amount of salt in water affect the brightness of a light bulb, we need to include these terms.
I love school.
I mean, school's not bad.
Start. However, we need to include 1,
I mean, what did you do if you stayed home?
5, 6.
Yo no
Play
sé.
Fortnite.
Well, what did you think based on this?
Eso no
And
es
that's
algo.
all.
It's a conductor.
We need school for life. Like, if it is one of school, like,
What do you have to charge? Pregúntale. Rodri, Emily pregunta que por cuánto tiempo tú vas a
We
pasar.
have,
I was right. 4 meses.
so,
6.
Valentina la
y los dos.
is a conductor as well.
Samuel, how you get 0 girls?
4.
Pero por lo menos no soy tapis.
Wait, Samuel, how you get 6 girls a month? So Samuel, how you get 1 girl a month?
Hermano, yo fui que creo tú también.
I organized a 4-year plan.
Pero tú se lo escribiste.
Por eso. Yo lo creé también.
¿Tú también crees que
Yo.
Yo.
es un monte tras tuyo, según.
I'm not even covered.
You were what?
Please. Can you spell the word, please?
No.
Bro, tú te pones a llorar porque te dije, no,
Wait, Maria. What's your last name?
Too hard.
You don't have a last name.
Marce Oliveira, yo ni me recuerdo.
Wow. And I'm talking about Andrés Castillo.
Bro,
He has COVID. Ya, sí es COVID, ¿no?
No.
Dan el filtro. Dan el filtro y te la IP.
He's on field trip on right there.
Okay,
He switched schools?
no. Ahí pegaron los 4. I'm gonna break this.
I would like to know the brighter the light.
Why is Nueva such a Panama City fan?
Sebas, escúchate la soba, tío.
I mean, it's like, dude, I don't mean that's an insult, but like, there's other clubs in the world.
Sebastian, Reina.
No se tiene que
Dude, stop talking about Panama City. Like, stop. I get it's a good club. I actually do.
Es que son tan buenos, lo destrozan nada
But
más.
they're not the best club in Panama, the Plaza.
Boom.
Hey, Banana First, are you not talking merchants?
¿Quién? ¿Y qué Vicente?
JB Sosa.
¿Quién contra quién?
Barcelona contra Panama City. Cogieron a Nacho.
Didn't San Miguelito beat them 5
Son buenos cuando
points?
encuentran a Nacho.
It wasn't 5-1, it was 4-0.
Oh, new!
That's
That's the same. Oh, they're all good team. They probably don't have enough team. They probably don't have enough team. Not good team. They probably work for everything. Huh? And they beat the 5. I mean, if I was really you guys, I'd actually try to focus on doing the best club, not Panama City.
Some people that are like,
It's like you said.
they're like 13 years old.
Would you go for the best player instead of Ronaldo? Like, would you go for Messi instead of Ronaldo?
Ronaldo's better than Messi. Yes, he is. Let's have it. Ronaldo or Messi?
Julián, Ronaldo o Messi.
Ronaldo.
Es que es Ronaldo.
Mario Duarte, yo no sé, pero estas convenciones.
Lewandowski was wrong.
Ey, Joaquín. She's also a Ronaldo fan. Like I really.
Pero te llaman
She's 14.
Oh, Ronaldo's.
I said here, listening. For win today, I did send out an assignment that was studying for your fact check Friday. This Friday will be your first FCF. As a reminder, are you allowed to use your notebook on an FCF?
Oh, no.
Are you allowed to use a computer on an FCF?
Boo way.
No.
Bro.
You can make study materials to help you be prepared, and I would highly recommend that. But can you use your study materials in an FCF?
No puedes.
No. I would recommend not showing up on Friday having not looked at this material at all. That would be a bad idea. Part of why I wanted you guys to include these words in your conclusion is you might have a question on your FCF that's like this. Explain this topic using these vocabulary words. If you're not able to explain it using those vocabulary words, then you're not going to do well on that part. Remember though that the FCF will be a mix of things, so some questions are going to be very simple. What's the definition of electricity? This, or this? Multiple choice. Some questions though will be open-ended. Some will be based on situations. If I do this, what would we predict would happen? If I make a circuit and the wire consists of brass, would I expect that to make an open circuit or a closed circuit? Why? Alright? So that's the kind of thing that we will be seeing on Friday. Any questions on Samuel?
Sorry if you already responded like a long time ago.
Unless you're Samuel, please be silent.
I don't know if you already responded this, but in one of those tests that we're going to do, is it going to be on our report card?
No.
The FCFs will not be on your report card, but the grade will go on Google Classroom. Yes.
Oh, literally.
And it will be anywhere from 3 to 9. This first one will be somewhere between 6 and 8. Ready, please go ahead and clean up your slides, your fingers, or the ladder out. If it's raining, wash down.
Yo, what's good stream?
Please make sure your bin and stuff is
I'm back. I streamed the entire class. I have one more class. And it's music. Emmy, I'm still streaming. I've been streaming the entire day. Hola, chicos. Cállate. My hueva. No. I'm still streaming. Está streaming. No, solo queda uno. No, I'm good. Hey!
I want to say something. Yo, if y'all watching this, Rex.
Yay! I've been streaming the entire day. Hola, chicos. Cállate. Yeah. Está streaming. No, solo queda uno. No, I'm good. Hey! Just wait for the screen.
If y'all watching this, Rex.
Just wait for the screen. Scream. Yay! No, put out. I'm not streaming the entire day. Hola, chicos. I'm still streaming.